and people don't know this, but you're the guy that did the theme song for the DaveCast.
Yeah, man. It was an honor. I'm glad you asked. It was such an honor to, be a part of it too. Like, I mean, I was like stoked at the chance to do it.
Yeah. Had you done that kind of thing before? I mean, I know you've played a lot of music.
I'm trying to think if I've ever done I don't think I've ever done a podcast before.
Yeah.
So, and I'm always interested in doing something that I hadn't done before musically.
Yeah.
That's just kind of like my thing. I love to try new things musically. So This was like great opportunity and also a challenge.
Yeah.
Because you were like, when anything new comes about in a music situation for me, at first I get a little nervous, but in a good way. It's like this adrenaline nervous, like, I can do this, but, I got to sit down and, it's like, I got to stop here, sit down and do it. And so it was just a real honor that you asked me to do it. And you actually got me to leave my comfort zone a little bit as a guitar player, which is always great. Do you know what I mean? Because I'll be honest, that's what I want to do. I don't want to, personally, I don't want to, play the same stuff I've been playing all the time, which is fun. Yeah. I'd rather listen to that than, but that's just me, Well,
you banged it out, man. And I remember the vibe I was going for. I watched this YouTuber, Truckhouse Life. And I think I sent you a clip, one of the episodes. And I remember what I said was, I like this guy's theme song, but I obviously I don't want to copy it. I just like the vibe. I think that's why I said it.
Right.
And I was like, can you just listen to this and just think about sort of the vibe and then go with it?
Right.
And dude, you cranked out you sent me 4 options.
Yeah, man. And I'll tell you, it was like, I thought what was interesting about it, it was like pretty quick, but it was, I was just sitting there going, all right, I'm going to do some finger picking stuff I've been messing with lately, and just kind of played honestly, just fiddled around with some chords and some finger picking patterns and went, let me come up with some ideas. But what was interesting is I thought the last idea that you thought was like, we're going to use this one. I thought, this is a throwaway. This is the one that's feeling it. Yeah, no, I just thought he's going to think this is the one that's not going to definitely not make. And you were like, I like that one. I'm like, and I've heard about things like that happening in much, in different circumstances where somebody, they come up with a song idea at the last minute, or they're just thinking, that's just whatever. And that ends up being the one that they think is the best.
Yeah.
So that was interesting. I thought that was really an interesting thing.
It wasn't the one you expected.
The one I expected was totally like you were like, that's cool, but I like this one. And I was like, wow, that's the one I at least would have thought. But isn't that awesome though?
Well, all 4 were great. That was the thing.
I appreciate it. Yeah, man. It was so much fun to do it.
And I remember when I listened to the first one, I was like, oh, this is perfect. And then it was like, wait a second, now he's going to send you more,
Oh, wow.
And so you said, but they all were great. And I remember thinking, I really couldn't go wrong with any of the 4 options.
Wow.
So,
well, I appreciate that, man.
Yeah,
I really appreciate that. I'm not good with compliments. I'm just like,
I get it.
Looking in the newspaper, right?
Yeah.
Looking at the fine print. Seco needs a guitar. What's Seco? They need a guitar teacher. I went in and basically, long story short, I've been doing it ever since.
Yeah.
I'm enjoying doing it, love to teach and love to,
so
pass on the little that I know, because my teacher taught me. I had a guitar teacher when I was growing up. My teacher taught me a lot that I still use to this day. He's like my mentor, still alive, still recording. And it's crazy how he kind of taught me. And now what I'm doing is taking what I learned from him and others, where I studied music and stuff as well, and just trying to give that to other people so they can take it and run with it. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
Because I mean, I'm not like looking, my mom's a teacher. I think that was what I was meant to do. Kind of, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It took me a while to realize it, but the whole trying to be a rock star thing or tour, I never got into that.
Right.
Because I never wanted to do that.
You're teaching, man.
Yeah. And
So people can come to you, and you work at Seco Music, and your studio is right here. And so if somebody wanted to contact you for lessons on guitar, how would they do that?
Yeah, I mean, you can call up the store. I have business cards. You can message me on Facebook Messenger and say, I've had a lot of people do that. I'll just get a message saying, hey, I'm interested in lessons. So just come by the store and, give you a tour of the studio and what we do during lessons, how it works and all that.
Right. It's a cool studio.
Appreciate it. Yeah. I'm trying to, sometimes you want to change things up so they don't get stale, change up some pictures or, stuff like that.
So let me ask you one more thing. All right,
Yeah,
you and I were talking about how 80s music was sort of our thing.
Yes, absolutely.
What would you say were some of your favorite artists from the 80s musically?
Missing Persons, Van Halen. Gosh, the list goes on. I loved a lot of the 80s. This is going to be like, people are going to rip on me for this. I loved a lot of the 80s new wave stuff. You know what I mean? Missing Persons, Berlin, Duran Duran. But I also loved a lot Billy Idol.
Oh, he was
cool. Billy Idol. Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers. But as far as, I was really also into like hard rock, like Rat. Bands like Rat, Round and Round. The early Motley Crue. I liked a lot of that kind of where the guitar was sort of, that's what got me into guitar really, was the guitar being so in the forefront.
Yeah.
A lot of that guitar being so like an MTV, of course.
Yeah. That's when MTV actually played music.
That's right. Yeah. Yeah, that's true. It's like, what happened? What happened? I've seen some funny memes about
weird
what happened.
Like I would listen to Huey Lewis in the News, and I loved Bryan Adams.
Oh,
and I had to sneak around and listen to Def Leppard. The people I was with, like, you can't listen to Def Leppard.
Pyromania, man, they're setting stuff on fire, man. You can't listen to that.
That was my act of rebellion, was Def Leppard, Pyromania and Hysteria.
Yeah, so
what does music mean to Dave?
What it means to me is the thing that's always gotten me through the good and the bad times. I mean, it really has. And it's one of those experiential things where it's like, you feel like your experience is validated by your own experience. Like, that doesn't really make sense, but like, it's been one of those constants in my life. I'd say music is a constant. Right. And it's always been like, it's always been something that has got me through hard times, good times, all of the above.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And
so thank God for the gift of music.
Absolutely. Amen. Yeah, definitely. And so, I mean, that's just the short.
How about
a little bit of that? I don't know if it's.
And if you want to stand here, I'll get out your way so the camera can see.
No, you're good.
But yeah, we'd love to hear a little something.
Let me try that again.
That's all right. Take your time.
Coffee thing. No. That was the wrong ending, though, but there you go. See.
I love it.
There we go.
Dude, that's fantastic.
Kind of forgot how to play it for a minute.
Well, you did great, and these people will be hearing it every week. And
appreciate
Dave, man, thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you, man. It's been an honor. Like I said, I'm very thankful you asked me to be a part of it and do the music and meet today.
This was great. Well, we'll have to get together again and talk some more. And but one more thing. Thank you for teaching my son Emerson how to play guitar.
Absolutely.
How's he doing?
Is he doing good?
He's doing good. He's doing good. He's just growing up too fast.
They all do.
They all do. So, good deal. I'll go ahead and stop it, dude. I'm glad we did this. This was fun.
Yeah, that was cool, man.
And I'm so